Welcome to Freaky Fauna Friday, where every Friday we take a little time and explore some of the freaks of nature from around the planet we cherish so deeply. So please, jump aboard and let's explore the wilds together.
Yes, we're back.
Welcome back to Freaky Fauna Friday. I am the great and peaceful Mr. A.
And I am Jay. And you know what I just really enjoy? Sometimes just the pitter-patter of rain hitting the window. It's just nice and relaxing.
How was the storm the other day? Was it bad? It hardly rained up here.
It wasn't as bad. It was bad, but it wasn't as bad as they said it was going to be. But
All right, that's good though.
we got a lot of water. We got lucky in our area, in our hometown, because there was a huge storm coming right at us, and it literally just kind of split.
Oh, for the tornadoes?
No, just
this last one.
Heavy rain, yeah. And we just were on the edge of it. So we got some heavy, and then it would stop raining for like 10, 15 minutes completely. And then it would downpour again, and then stop, and just be sprinkling mist. And it was like that all night, but just enough to not flood, but still there was the creeks are all to max capacity, though. But never flooded.
Today we're going to talk about a survivor.
Oh, I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up.
I'm a survivor. Is that the song?
Yeah.
Okay. The leatherback sea turtle. Now, these guys, it's weird when you kind of talk about sea turtles as a whole, because these
There's
guys
lots
are
of them, right?
Yeah, these are very different than every other sea turtle on the planet because
yeah.
they're not related to them very closely.
Aren't these like the big guys, though? Aren't these massive?
Yeah, these are trucks. These are trucks in the ocean. Out of all the animals in the Demicladidae family, only one extant species remains, which means not extinct. The last survivor of a family of over 7 genera and countless species, the leatherback sea turtle. So she's it. She's it of a giant ancient lineage.
So it's
These
the last one?
Yeah, biggest turtles they're very different than most other reptiles. We'll talk about how they keep a homeostasis and all kinds of stuff. The lonely animal remains relatively unchanged for the last 150-ish million years. Carries with its prehistoric set of adaptations, not found in its Gen Z cousins. Because a lot of the other sea turtles, they superficially look like it.
You should never attach Gen Z to animals. Please don't ever do that.
The article did.
It's Gen Z cousins.
This is the leatherback.
Oh my gosh.
An enormous relic, critically endangered by human influences. Pretty much the only reason they're endangered is people. I want to make that very clear.
I thought it was like the seagulls stealing their newborn hatchlings.
No, they've been dealing with that since the Cretaceous.
And it's definitely that. They finally caught the seagulls won.
Seagulls caught up. All right, so let's talk about some basic facts. Their habitat, open ocean. They really only come to land to lay eggs.
Yeah.
Location worldwide except polar oceans, but they're getting closer and closer to these polar regions. Lifespan, 50 plus years. We really don't know how old they get. How heavy, length. This is shell length. How long do you think their shell can get, as far as we know?
So just about without their feet and head, just their shell.
And their little tail.
Trying to see. I've seen videos of these guys, and they're absolutely massive. Because the video I seen, it was one of them was stuck. It came up, and it got stuck somewhere, and these people had to help pull it out of the little hole it was kind of stuck in. And it was gigantic. Like there was 4 of these people, and they could hardly move it. I don't know, like 5 feet.
5 feet shell length?
Yeah.
On average, they can be up to 9.
Oh my gosh, it's even bigger than I thought.
The world record's 12 foot.
If you haven't seen these guys, just look up a picture of a leatherback sea turtle. I'm sure you've seen it in passing, on TV, without in your lifetime at some point, but they are truly so different than all the other turtles.
Yeah, because they're not really related to them.
Like
Yeah. So like I just said, were you not listening to the beginning?
I know.
They are the only one in their whole family left.
Right. But they're still related, though, right?
As far as turtles are related to turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're not sea turtle. There's not one family of sea turtles.
Right. Gotcha.
All sea turtles don't belong to one group.
Okay.
So this is something that co-evolved several different times.
Right. I wonder if, too, maybe some of the giant ones we had in the past, the fossil record or whatever, perhaps the one, remember that shark that got eaten? that had the tracker on and got pulled down like to so many feet, like extremely fast.
The missing shark.
What if it was a giant? Like, what if the ancient turtles were like these leatherbacks?
Yeah, well, they were. So Archelon and stuff like that was massive. And remember with that episode, we talked about the leatherback sea turtle was the same core body temperature as the thing that ate the shark.
Aha.
That was a big thing in that episode. We already talked about.
Oh, see, I didn't remember it being specifically a leatherback.
Well, that's the only body temperature that the animal that ate the shark matched.
Oh, okay.
Was a leatherback sea turtle.
Well,
and we're going to talk about their body temperature. Anyway, so on average, 9 foot long. They can be up to 12. There's some historic black and white photos that may have ones that are 14 or 15 foot long. Right now, they're 2,000 to 2,500 pounds.
It's a whole car.
Yeah, it's a car. It's like a I just forgot the name of it.
Ford Festiva.
Ford Festiva. It's a Ford Festiva. I was going to go like a Taurus or something like that. Their guys are amazingly beautiful.
They might be bigger than a Ford Festiva.
They're blue/black with white spots.
Yeah, they're really cool looking.
You ever seen their throat?
I don't think so.
Look up a leatherback sea turtle's throat.
All right.
So their throat has like billions of spines pointing in on it, and it's one of their favorite foods is jellyfish.
Yeah.
So it's to activate jellyfish stingers before it gets to their stomach.
Oh, really? You're talking like the inside of the throat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look up inside of leatherback sea turtle mouth. You'll see it.
Backwards pointing spines that help retain gelatinous prey.
Yeah.
Oh, so it keeps the
from them coughing
coming
back
back
out.
out. Yeah.
So jellyfish, seaweed, soft-bodied fish, and crustaceans are most of their prey. We don't know a lot about it. What, you seen it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it look like a nightmare? It looks like the popcorn bucket for Dune.
Yeah, it does. I was going to say it kind of looks like Tiki's legs.
They have a hard bite.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
I'm aware.
Great radio, but like its throat, yeah, it's literally like a spiny toothed hole.
Everybody just look it up when you get a second. So like I said,
nightmare fuel.
Jellyfish, seaweed, soft-bodied fish, crustaceans look to be most of their diet, but we don't know a whole lot about it.
Okay.
We just know we're going to talk about how deep they dive and stuff like that. They're active predators as far as turtles are concerned. You don't really think of that with turtles. Predators they have themselves are birds, crabs, and sharks when they're juveniles.
Yep.
Up until they get to a certain size, open water sharks are a big problem. Like you said, on the beach, birds and crabs eat a lot of their offspring, but that's why they have hundreds of thousands of eggs at one time.
That would be an awesome sight to see one day. Is a turtle hatching?
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Mom and Dad were there for a release one time. They got help.
That's pretty sweet.
So as adults, we don't know a lot about their predators. We're going to assume great white sharks and orcas may be predators. But the thing is, they can dive deeper than both. Great white sharks can dive pretty deep. They can dive like really fast, really deep to where orcas can't follow.
Really?
Yeah. And we don't know the sharks if they're worth it for the great white shark.
Right, yeah. If they didn't snatch them right away.
Yeah. And sperm whales may be predators to them. We don't think so. Because they're diving down there with sperm whales hanging out.
Now, are their shells actually like...
We're going to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Leatherbacks are a long-lived species of sea turtle. They can travel so far and fast and so deep. Right now, we think their top speed is between 6 and 10 miles per hour, which is pretty quick for an animal their size to be scooting.
Okay.
You keep in mind it's a car.
Right, yeah.
We still don't know a lot about them, and sometimes they're referred to as lure turtles or leathery truth turtles or luths. They can be found in open oceans around the globe. 3 distinct populations: the Atlantic, the East Pacific, and the West Pacific Oceans are they're broken down, but any individual from the Atlantic can end up in the Pacific. Mm-hmm. These are the largest living turtle species. Like I said, most time when you find them, they're 6 to 8 foot long, about 1,000 pounds on average. But they can be
big.
Really big. They can be a lot bigger than that.
Yeah.
There's impressively sized individuals have been claimed to be found. They feed nearly exclusively on jellyfish, but they will also eat small crustaceans and fish. They are important to the ecosystem in keeping jellyfish populations in check.
That's good because
jellyfish can destroy habitats
fast.
So without leatherback sea turtles just knocking their numbers down. During the nesting season, female leatherbacks will come to a shore to a sandy beach and lay eggs in a hole. Around 100 to 200 eggs will be laid, covered with sand before they head back out to the ocean. A couple months later, they will hatch, dig their way out, and scurry into the ocean. Many predators such as seagulls, fish will prey upon the early hatchlings. Leatherbacks appear to be adapted to particular environments most reptiles cannot handle at all. This has helped them sustain their lives for over 150 million year lineage. This lineage is now at risk being snuffed out by destructive capacities of humans' feeding habits and are consistently considered critically endangered by the IUNC Red List. People eat their eggs. Oh. They literally follow these big giant females out of the water, and then they'll knock them over after they lay their eggs and eat them.
Just eat the eggs, right?
Yeah, because they're a delicacy. So why they're named
freshly laid eggs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why they're named leatherbacks is after their leathery skin shell. Unlike other sea turtles, the leatherback sea turtle doesn't have a typical bony shell. Instead, the shell is covered with an oily flesh and leathery-like skin, both in texture and appearance. They have 7 ridges on their carapace, which is the top part of the shell, and they get their name lute or luth after the 7-string instruments.
Oh, okay, yeah, lute.
So yeah, it's not like a hard bony shell. It's a big fleshy shell, but it's not like a soft shell turtle where it's like a tortilla you can flap around.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is it still like hard? Does it protect them? Is it still like body armor? Or is it relatively, I don't know, soft? But I guess I wouldn't imagine it would be too soft.
Oh, no, it's not. It's pretty tough.
Okay.
So the largest turtle ever found, the National Museum of Cardiff, is an example of the largest extant turtle species discovered, which means not extinct.
Okay.
The huge figure was packed into the beach in Wales in 1988. The crane used to lift it recorded it being over 2,000 pounds loaded. The 9-foot-long animal, which remains were large turtle of one so far. But there is some doubt the accuracy of this claim. The researchers claim the size of they claim it could have been bigger or smaller or whatever. But yeah, leatherbacks are truly amazing.
Give or take some.
They think that animal, though, was around 100 years old. The sheer size of the animal does suggest an older than average. Now, here's their freaky fact.
Oh, here we go.
They're deep divers.
Deep.
These animals are highly adapted to deep water. So, which is what, as far as we understand as reptiles, is not something they do.
Okay.
Because they're ectothermic. They rely on their environment for their heat. So leatherback sea turtles are well adapted to doing what other turtles can't. They have particular oxygen storage systems in their tissues. They're soft, malleable shells, which develop composure in their more ridged protection than their cousin, so they can collapse their lungs.
Okay.
So like the deepest diving whales actually don't store oxygen in their lungs. They collapse their lungs for their deep dives.
Don't they store like the oxygen in their skin and
their
stuff?
liver and their other organs.
Okay.
They saturate them. Yeah. So all these adaptations allow the turtle to migrate to exceptional depths, commonly observed to more adventurous mammals like sperm whales. So they're diving with the deepest divers of the mammals. It is not known what they do this, but leatherback sea turtles have been known to dive for over 1 kilometer down, far away from more common food sources, as well as out of range of most air-breathing animals. So there's just a handful of air-breathing animals that go to this depth.
Yeah.
We don't know what they're doing down there. They're literally passing jellyfish schools to go that deep.
There's got to be something cool down there.
No, we don't know. There's something they're doing, obviously.
They're trading with sea people.
Or they may be targeting, bioluminescent animals that are easier for them to hunt, that don't get preyed upon by other animals.
True, it might be safer for them down there, too.
Yeah, there's no orcas. The one thing that can really put a hurting on them, they're not down there.
But there's bloops down there, though.
Yeah, but they're probably faster than a bloop.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we did figure out the bloop is a turtle.
No, we didn't. Some suggest that navigating chemical cues to orient themselves in the water column to find potential food sources, but the dive could also be a way of shedding parasites. Much like other gigantum organisms, such as colossal whale sharks, the leatherback sea turtle is capable of maintaining a body temperature in colder waters for much longer than smaller-bodied animals would be able to. So there's a question whether they have true homeostasis or not, which is the ability to maintain a body temperature.
Right.
Which, as far as most modern-day reptiles, I don't know of any other reptile that's had that found. So fish, a couple fish have actually been found to have that, where they can maintain a body temperature.
Okay.
So they can have homeostasis.
What fish are they?
I'm trying to think of one. One's a cousin to the oarfish.
Oh, okay.
Like a moonfish, I think is what it's called. They may allow them to outlast the cold and pressure tolerance of unwanted hitchhikers the turtle may be carrying, using deep dives as a cleansing journey. Which you see some leatherbacks, there's some evidence for this, where they'll have nasty-looking shells. And they'll just go sit at the bottom of the ocean for a while until everything dies on them. You want to ride on me, you stupid remora?
Right, yeah.
I'll show you.
Yeah.
We're going to the bottom of the ocean.
Hang on to this.
Leatherback sea turtles can handle the cold, is my next fact for you. They are not only adapted for the deep, but also the cold, which for a gigantic reptile is weird. These turtles can generate their own body heat and hold on to it better than most. That allows them to traverse these wide range of habitats than other turtles. They withstand the temperatures by generating heat in their muscles and holding it into their thick, fatty layer of turtle blubber. One of the few animals. So this what we think a lot of mosasaurs and pliosaurs and stuff like that. We look at these guys to look at maybe how they survived in Arctic climates.
Makes sense, yeah. You need that turtle blubber. They used to harvest them for their lamps back in the day, too.
These their front flippers can grow up to 9 feet long. They're power swimmers.
It's like Michael Phelps' feet.
These are the largest flippers of any sea turtle, and they can help them move through the water quickly. The Guinness Book of World Records suggests the leatherback sea turtle has been verified swimming up to speeds of 21 miles per hour in the water, which makes them faster than any non-avian reptile.
That's pretty awesome.
So they can swim faster than crocodiles and snakes, anything. They are well-traveled. Their adaptations allow them to extend further north and south than any other species of turtle or reptile in the world. Their streamlined bodies increase the effectiveness and help them to reach up to 10,000 miles of swimming every day in any current. So they swim that, and they can swim up to 10,000 miles in a year.
Oh,
but they swim every day actively. They don't rest.
In a day for a second. I was like, this is impossible.
They wrote it kind of weird, but no, they can swim up to 10,000 miles in a year.
Dang.
But they swim actively every day. There's no rest for these guys.
I feel like
so a lot of other sea turtles will actually sleep on the bottom. I don't know if you've ever seen videos of them like hiding in reefs and sleeping. These guys don't.
Wow.
Mature turtles spend almost their entire lives in open ocean. Females mate in the open ocean and then nest in the shore one to every 5 years. While they don't come back to the same exact location like other sea turtles, they do prefer certain regions.
Okay.
They're possibly long-lived. We really don't know. Like I said, a lot of scientists think that 18 to 20 is pretty average, with 50 being old. That one in the museum in Wales was over 100 years old when it died.
That's what they thought, anyways.
Yeah. So we really don't know how old they live. Turtles, it's kind of hard. Some turtles live very short lives. Some turtles live very long lives.
I thought if you cut their tail off and counted the rings,
it's their shell.
Oh.
But they don't have a traditional shell.
That's why. Yeah.
So they don't have growth rings like normal turtles. You can't just hold them and count.
You got to pull one of their spiny tooths out of their throat and count it.
Also, this is one of the turtles you can't just pick up.
No, you can't. Good luck, unless you're Andre the Giant.
So one of the jokes you make, they don't have teeth. They actually have a sharp, cutting-edged beak, and they have these backwards-facing spines in their throat. First, it does two things: to trigger jellyfish spines so that it doesn't sting them in their softer stomach, and to not let food get back out.
Right, yeah. You ain't coming back out of that. If you haven't looked up the picture of the sea turtles or leatherback sea turtle's throat yet, please do.
So, leatherback sea turtles cry to stay alive.
Oh.
Leatherback turtles drink seawater. They eat jellyfish, which are 95% seawater. So that's a lot of salt for an animal to handle. Sea creatures who take in a lot of salt require specialized gland to get rid of it again. And in leatherbacks, these glands are in their eyes, or right on the edge of their eyes. As such, they cry tears that are twice the salinity of water around them, removing a lot of salt from their diets and making them look very sad.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a lot of pictures of them like crying. Their eyes are crazy. Keep in mind, these guys are hyper adapted for a very certain lifestyle.
Right, yeah. I mean, they've lived for longer than any other turtle we know of, pretty much.
So, yeah, they've been around for unchanged as a species for a long time.
Good body plan.
I mean, they watched dinosaurs just disappear. Plesiosaurs and mosasaurs, all these other animals just disappear around them.
They're megafauna.
They are. I mean, this shouldn't be a surprise because this is a common theme on Freaky Fauna Friday. They are critically endangered.
Yes.
But on a Patreon episode we'll be talking about, and I think maybe it's this week, that they think 40% of species could be extinct in the next 100 years.
40% of species of?
Everything.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, don't we lose that? I mean, 99.9% of everything that's ever lived on Earth is dead, right?
Yeah, but Earth's been around. That's in traditional timescale. Earth's been around a while. That's an estimate based off of species we don't know about.
Gotcha.
Because at that estimate, we only know of 1% of species extinct and alive.
Okay.
Total. It's fossils that we found and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're critically endangered. And sad as it should be, endangered species or population of leatherback turtle are threatened by numbers of things, including fishing industry. They get caught in nets.
Not good.
Usual people are taking what they should. The turtles are commonly get caught up in these nets as bycatch. Their eggs are also stolen by poachers. The hatchlings are commonly get confused by bright lights and wander the wrong direction away from the ocean. because most of the time their hatches align with full moons, and the moon's over the ocean, so they go for that. So bright city lights can trick them. Climate change has also affected them. Like other reptiles, the sex of their offspring is determined by the temperature of the substrate. So the springs and summers being messed up are causing them all to be born male.
Oh, no.
So that's another thing climate change is affecting. Recent studies have also estimated the global nesting population of leatherback turtles is between 26,000 and 43,000, which has declined significantly from 1980, which it was at least 115,000 nesting adults.
Wow. Okay.
So it's about that's about a fifth of what it was.
Yeah, that's not good.
And in 40 years now.
Yeah, 80s. Yep. It is now. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, it's been, imagine a population getting decimated to a fifth. Imagine that happened to the human population.
I think they're trying to.
I think they're trying to keep a third. They're trying to keep a third, not a fifth.
I don't know. I think it's even less than both of
The
those.
Guidestone said a third.
No, I think it said like a 20th.
So what do you think about that? You got any question about leatherback sea turtle?
Well, they're pretty amazing creatures. Even though they're on, what'd you say? They're not extinct, but
They're extant, which means not extinct.
Okay.
But
they're on their way.
Most of the time, we don't have to use that word.
Yeah.
But when everybody else in your family tree is dead,
Yeah, you're kind of.
that's how you have to use that word.
Yeah.
Because they're the only non-extinct one.
I guess I won't ever know what they're going to taste like, but
No, probably not. I mean, but no, they show high intelligence. There was just a video we posted on our page a couple weeks ago in Juniper, Florida. Just had a giant leatherback sea turtle cruising around a boat out in the ocean. These guys are like 50, 60 miles out.
that's awesome.
This turtle comes up out of nowhere, and it moves so fast.
Like, it's just easy.
Yeah, it's gliding through the water, but it's jetting around.
Do you think mosasaurs are related to these guys at some point?
So yes, no. Mosasaurs are related to turtles and snakes.
Wait, not mosasaurs. Plesiosaurs.
They're much more closely related to turtles than mosasaurs were. Mosasaurs are mostly related to mollusks and snakes.
Yeah, I meant plesiosaur, the big flipper, but just not have a long
Yeah,
neck.
they think they have a common ancestor because they had similar body plans. Because we don't even know how turtles came to be.
Right, yeah.
Because there's like 3 or 4 groups of reptiles that could be turtles' ancestors. And they're very different. Because there was one group that had the shell start at the
It's outside.
bottom,
Yeah.
and some start at the top and stuff like that.
They started at the bottom, now we're here.
But yeah, no, leatherback sea turtles probably one of my top 50 animals.
I could see that.
Yeah, they're just awesome. They're just very unlike other turtles. I just want to know what they do down there.
I know, it's a mystery. We got to strap a GoPro to one of
Because
their heads.
it's weird when you're a scientist and you're like, well, they deep dive for food, and then they just pass the food.
Yeah. Well, then now what?
What's down there?
Oh, food, guys. More food. Other food.
I mean, it could be their preferable food sources. The parasite one's a good idea. I don't know.
I still think they're collecting goods from the top and bringing it down to
Hunting.
this.
They're probably hunting megalodons.
Hunting?
Yeah, they're swimming down there and they just bite their gills until they die.
I mean,
That's a very turtle thing to do.
be cool, but I feel like a megalodon would be like, yeah, I'm just going to either swim away or I'm going to eat you whole.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Turtles.
Who
I've
knows?
seen little leatherback, or not leatherback. I've seen little loggerhead turtles like go fight an alligator.
Well, that's different.
It's the same thing, actually.
That's different.
Punching way above out of your weight class.
We should get some leatherback sea turtles, bring them up here, and put them in the pond.
It would be cool if there's a freshwater variety
Why can't they live in the freshwater?
because they're highly adapted to saltwater.
Well, they won't have to cry as much. So it'll be fine.
I have been the great and peaceful mystery.
And I've been Jay.
We'll catch you next week, guys. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Freaky Fauna Friday. If you want to help the podcast grow, remember to share and give it a 5-star review.